I want to talk to you about that one human being in your life that growing up, you felt like you had to be like in order to be accepted, in order to be loved. Was it your dad? Was it your sister, your brother, your mother? This one human being in your experience that you felt like I have to be at your level, no matter what that is. Maybe it's I have to be at a level of making money the most important thing. I have to be at your level of success. For some of us, what feels like a level that we need to be at feels positive as far as the view of society, right? Maybe those people who have a role model that is successful or healthy or has healthy eating and exercise habits or is spiritually and emotionally well-rounded, right? But for, I don't want to say a majority and step out, but for a lot of us, including myself, we had role models in our experience that were also the kind of role models that were modeling emotionally places and spaces for us vibrationally that were of a lower frequency, right? Those of us who had parents who suffered from depression, who suffered from being sick, health issues, codependencies, the narcissistic, empathic dynamic, yeah? And so when we feel into those especially first role models that we have, and if we're believing and taking on that we need to be like them in order to be accepted and loved. Let's say your mom is depressed, right? So our first inkling is mom doesn't like it when I'm happy, right? Like I'm not liked, accepted, or loved when I am not at the vibrational frequency, which is lower with my mom, where she's depressed or sad or anxious, right? And some of you are going to resonate with this on your father's side. And the point I'm trying to get to is that we develop these aspects of our parents and our role models growing up. We create that God is the same, right? So if let's say your parents at some point isolated from you, they put you in a timeout, they put you in a position where you were isolated from your support system, not only from them, but from your friends, from your sisters, from your brothers, from your family, from anyone literally that could support you. And yet they're putting you in isolation so that you don't even have the support from them, right? So all of a sudden, the little, let's say 10-year-old mind goes, God is the same way. So that means when people in your life are quote unquote abandoning you or isolating from you, or when you find yourself pulled into isolation, there's something that goes off in your mind that says, this is normal, right? This is what's supposed to happen. I guess this is a God thing, because what I was taught growing up as normal, as a normality, was that if I didn't do something exactly right and perfect and up to the standards of godlike figures in my experience, right? Authority figures, that the normal reaction to that would be that I need to isolate. Maybe I need to isolate and take some time to myself as a punishment, right? So that unfortunately causes us, even especially spiritual people as adults, and we don't question this very often because we often talk about the need to pull in and draw into our inner being and pay attention to our inner being. But what they don't tell you is there's a healthy version of that and there's an unhealthy version of that, yeah? And what I want to say to you right now is it's okay to feel better than the people around you. It's not your job to feel at the level of the people around you, especially if they're sad, if they're depressed, if they're sick, if they're unhealthy. And even if energetically, in a manipulative, almost codependent way, the people around you are asking or calling for you to coddle their emotions. I'm speaking especially to those of you who are healers and empaths and kind of are playing the role of a leader or a coach or someone of, spiritual teacher, someone that is supporting multiple people in your community. The importance of giving yourself permission not only to feel better, but that's your job, right? when I was in plant medicine ceremony, not 7 days ago, I was going through those subconscious beliefs in my mind. The beliefs that in order to honor even the part of my own inner being, right? That was suffering, that was feeling depressed, that was feeling down and isolated. There was a part of me that thought, oh, I have to completely transform all the parts of me, lower all the parts of me in vibration, and go down to the level of that part of me that felt traumatized and sad and depressed in order that she felt safe and felt and held and heard. But what Spirit said to me, what the spirits of the medicine said to me, is no. It's your job to hold your vibration. It's your job to look ahead at the true nature of who and what you are. And those parts of you that are feeling isolated and down and depressed and lower vibrational, they're depending on you to move in the opposite direction as them in order that they can come join you where you are. Right? So there's this mentality that we need to step into as a collective. And it's that, no, I'm not abandoning you. If you're feeling sad and depressed and lonely, and I hold my vibrational space, and maybe I laugh inappropriately, or maybe I smile inappropriately, that I'm actually doing more for you than I could possibly ever do by coming down to the vibrational space that you're living in. Right? And that's the same for your own inner being. Those parts of you that are sad, I know because I've had that inner conflict for years myself, thinking that really guilting and blaming the part of me that wanted to feel better. You know, that part of me that was like very codependent and sad and depressed, like that was always very needy and wanting to be paid attention to, and my feelings wanted to be validated. And yet there's this part of me that wants to celebrate and be happy and be playful. Right? And so now we're in this space and time, especially with the collective energies, when we're having all these, kind of outward feelings and projections or reflections rather of our inner conflicts. It's so important for us to go, no, I don't need to drop down to those lower energies. I don't. And in fact, those lower energies are begging me not to pay attention to them because that's the only hope they have. If I pay attention to who and what I really am, which is in the realm of peace, it feels like lightness. It feels like freedom. It feels like all is well. Yeah, so let's drop down. Hi, Melody Love. Let's drop down into a little prayer, meditation, incantation. You can close your eyes now with me. And we'll take a deep breath in the nose and out the mouth. Let's give it a sigh. Tone it out like a tone. Give it a little vibrato. It helps shake up the energy. Let's do it one more time. Inhale here. Good. Let's drop into this feeling tone of it's possible that it's okay for me in this moment, right now, to put my burden down. Yes, even that. Yes, even that. Yes, even that. Yes, that too. Yes, that too. Yes, that too. It's possible that zero part of me will benefit from carrying this burden. It's possible that my friends and my family and my coworkers and my loved ones will not benefit 0.000 to the ninth 1% by keeping this burden, by holding this burden. It's possible by surrendering to the divine within me, by surrendering to the timing of the divinity, to surrendering to the aspects of myself that I know not in consciousness, but that I understand and feel intuitively are working for me, as me, and through me, without me needing to know on a conscious level. It's possible that right now I can put my burden down. It's possible that right this moment, There is no need for me to coddle anybody's emotions and not even my own. It's possible that those parts of me that are wanting and waiting for attention are actually asking me to pay attention by holding myself in a higher vibrational frequency and then calling those parts of me forth, hither, towards me, and giving them encouragement and uplifting them and telling them, I validate you, I honor you, I know how you feel, I feel your pain, it makes so much sense why you'd feel that way, and I'm calling you forth towards me where I am now. It's possible that no matter what's on my plate, even if I have a scary diagnosis, even if I'm looking at scary images, even if the blood test came back bad, it's possible that even if somebody broke up with me today, even if a loved one passed away this week, it's possible even if I'm scared and terrified about my finances, about my career, about my job, about how I'm going to take care of my family, it's possible that even these things are held and known and felt are being divinely orchestrated in this moment, in this very space and time right now, without my work, without my effort, and God, without my conscious knowing. And I'm willing to build my faith. I'm willing to strengthen my faith. I'm willing to know that my family's protected, my friends are protected, my inner being's protected, all of the parts of me are protected in all space and time. And that everything and all things are for me. It doesn't mean they're my friends, but they are for me. It doesn't mean I need to invite them into my experience, but they are for me. Even that sickness, even that letter of rejection, even that letter of ejection, even those negative comments, even what that person said, even what that person did, that every single thing is for me, that every cell in my body is for me, even the virus, even the bacteria, even the parasites, that everything is for me. It's possibly that everything in all space and time is for me. It doesn't mean I need to invite it in. It doesn't mean I need to befriend it, but I need to know that all aspects of me are for me. And I'm willing to believe this now. I'm willing to know that nothing I face is a burden, that nothing I face needs to be suffered, and certainly not alone. I'm willing to believe that God has my back, that the angels are my personal assistants, that my guides are with me every single motherfucking second, that they will not leave me, that they shall not leave me, that my inner being is with me every single second, that I have an army of protectors completely surrounding me, and that I may feel safe in this space, in this body that I'm in, on this earth plane, no matter what I'm facing. It's possible that I can, in this moment, rest, and I give myself permission to rest and relax and rejuvenate and restore in my physical body, in my emotional, my mental, and my spiritual bodies, and that I allow myself to come back to homeostasis and connect with the truth of who and what I have always ever been and will always ever be for all space and time. It's possible that right now is the only time I have to feel good. And God allow that I am willing and give myself permission to feel it. I send out love and I bless the earth, Pachamama, Father Sky, all those that work in the earth, that transport our food, the sunshine, the rain, the nutrients, the loving souls, on any perceived side of any kind of fence, that they are all what I am. And I see the core and the truth of even those that we collectively believe are not right. And I know that they are speaking and acting from a world of fucking pain, and I send healing their way. Because I understand. And I forgive. And I love. I know who I really am. And I command that all be well in my mind, the only place I have control. I command the possibility that I am the repetitive feeling of all is well, that I am in a cycle of the return of the feeling of all is well, that I'm in a cycle of the return of the feeling of all is well, that I'm in a cycle of the return of the feeling of all is well, that I'm in a cycle of the return of the feeling of all is well, that I'm in a cycle of the return of the feeling of all is well, that I'm in a cycle of the return of the feeling of all is well, because all is well, all is well, all is well, all is well. 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 And so it is. Amen. Put your hands over your heart. 3 deep breaths in. And let's Om together. Om. Allow all the spaces and places to integrate as you slowly come into your body, stepping out of the mind, stepping back into the body, out of the mind, back into the body. Feeling the sits bones on the space beneath you, floating the consciousness into the sense of smell, becoming your own sense of smell. What are you smelling? Bringing your consciousness into your ears. What is it that you're hearing? Bringing your consciousness into the sense of taste on the tongue. What is it that you're tasting? And now behind the eyes, do you see colors or splotches behind the eyes? Bringing the awareness back to the breath, the rising and falling of the chest and the abdomen. Deep breath, cyclical breathing, not holding the breath on the inhale or the exhale. Surrendering the breath to the divine, bringing in prana, life force energy, flowing through those spaces that feel sticky and stuck. And now wiggling the fingers and the toes, bringing the eyes to half mass. I love you so much. You're amazing. Have a beautiful day. Mwah.